Got ourselves his first up. Rest in Hell gonna be first up. Immediate sap by Nasmishka. Does not even give the man a moment to even barely walk out of the gates here. Cheap shot into secret technique. Reset. Vanish was used for Nasmishka. I'm not sure if you use it to try to reset or if you use it for like a second cheap shot or anything, but it's going to be an out with a gouge. Rest in Hell. Try to see if you catch up to him. What is this green glow that he's got going on? Is that like the necro? It's like the necrolord when you pick up the soul glow, right? Is that just like a glyph or something? It's got to be a flagellation. Gonna be up in the air. Vanish bomb by the rogue. Guess this is the demon hunter flying up into the sky. Still holding on to a trinket, so he's doing a-okay. Nasmishka potentially could be found if you have your spectral. He does have spectral. Retreating behind the pillar in case the rogue was going to chase him. Sap can still come out. It does come through. Nasmishka catch that quick CC. Does he have the damage though? Building up some resources. Hold on a second. This could be a big coup de grace. Go. The demon hunter could potentially be in trouble. Stunning Nasmishka. He has a trinket in case he needs to. Trinket blind. I think at this point there's nothing this rogue can do. There's nothing that the game is in rogue's hands, basically. The game is in rogue's hands. The rest of it, I'll walk up to cleave somebody down. Did you rip a soul out of somebody's body over on this team? I think it might have. Actually. I think it's cheesing out a little bit of health. But now that he doesn't have a trinket, catches up Nasmishka. Quick Imprison into a stun. Kind of lagging all over the place, but does get himself a proper go I-beam into a bit of a backflip in case there's going to be a stun out of the rogue. Give into a stun right after. Cheap shot locked in by the rogue. Barely any health, but he should have just enough into a potentially coup de grace. Does someone to Rest in Hell. Got himself a little bit of damage. Hunt to tackle the rogue down. Rushing past him, but goes for a vanish with a little bit of health. Got himself recovery. That's going to be Sigil of Fire. Smoke bomb for a second. Yo, I don't know how this rogue can... Unless you make a mistake as a rogue right now, there's no way to lose. No, wait, Rest in Hell. That cheap shot. DR'd super heavily into a backflip as the hunt comes through for Rest in Hell. That's not a lot of health available. Got him some darkness. That should help out a lot. Got to stand on that darkness. It's only a chill. Massive damage turning run onto Elo, however. Elo dropping out darkness of their own with an Abyssal Gaze right after. Flying up in air. Rest in Hell recovered all that health and he's got big damage. Shadow Meld to the last of Lance. What is this? Hold on a second. The rest of Hell apparently got some burst. I felt like as the rogue, he was like not really able to get a lockdown because the rogue got a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage. But now against Elo, he's just walking in and just dominating. Backing away from the blade dance. Actually avoiding the damage. Gonna be Sigil of Fears flying everywhere. That's gonna be Elo flying up in air. Does Rest in Hell. Does not have a meld of his own, but does catch line of sight last second. So he's able to at least recover a little bit behind the pillar. With the Sigil of Fear, Elo backs up out of the immediately instant I-beam. That's an opportunity for them to make some big fellow eruptions happen, but unable to catch up to Rest in Hell whatsoever, unfortunately. Does rush after Elo. Quick stun, I-beam. This may be, I think, the end here for Elo. Big blade dance. Does get a dance of their own. Glaze are in prison for a second. And one more cleave. Does go for imprison. Elo, no health at all. I don't know how you recover. And just fell rushes right into him, or fell blades right into him. Rick instantly going to be up next, trying to see if he can reverse into a big hunt into Rick. But it looks like it's not going to be happening. Hey, we fear out for Rick though. So he doesn't play Mortal Coil. Because fear is going to be DR'd. That is all the demons in the world. You do have imprison or immunity. You can meld these. You can meld the pets too. You can try to meld them. I don't know if it was really worth it. Potentially, if you can cleave down the pets too, that could be a lot of leech healing. And Rick is just going to fly out of there with a hunt to reconnect. Does reflect. I don't think he can reflect a hunt or anything though. Glaives are being sent in. Axos on the Rest in Hell. He does have meta, does have the glaive, but I think Rick is just going to drop meteors down on the man's head. Ham Joe up next. Try to see if he can go for that final wreck onto Rick. It's trying to see if he can back up out of there. Playing adaptation, by the way. Rick playing adaptation is weird, but that's going to mean every single Hodge out of the Paladin is going to break out of it insta. That is going to be interesting. I am... actually really want to see how this is going to work out. Slowed Hamjo down to smithereens. Man is an absolute crawl. Can't do anything. It's going to be looking to potentially bubble, lay in hands, but locked down with yet more slow striking right after, trying to see if he gets some damage on Rick. But he's still taking so much damage behind the pillar. So much damage. Hamjo is just not doing that good right now. Is Rick playing Diabolist or is he Soul Harvester build? Oh, he's Diabolist. See those eyeballs? That's Diabolist. Every time he summons a Pit Lord, Shavara, or Overlord, those eyeballs fly at Hamjo. And it'll do instantaneous damage. So whenever he procs a pet, right here maybe, Yep, the eyeballs flying in. They do a lot of damage. Hamster does go down without a bubble. You always gotta make sure you got a bubble loaded up in your back. Actually, he used the bubble already. Actually, he used the bubble. Never mind. Third Bolt's gonna be up next as a Affliction Warlock this time around. I like that Legion enchant, by the way. That thing looked good. That thing looked good. Mortal onto Rick, but he's nowhere near line of sight. I think Bolts does need to get line of sight in order to get some damage onto Rick. Does go for a kick. Rick shot at Bolts. Does he not have a pet? No, he doesn't have a pet. It looks like he does pet sacrifice. Dark Pact in order just to live the damage. Does go for the Dark Layer either way. I don't know if he got the most amount of dot damage into Rick for Dark Layer. I don't know if he's got UA or anything like that on him. I don't think he does. Does have a trinket. Fear right after. It's going to be Thick Bolts. Break it out of it as soon as possible. But yet another Fear hits him. Reflect onto Rick short. Trying to get some Hunt damage. Rick taking a lot of damage from the Hunt though. Shadow Bolts with the Demonic Soul doing a lot. But there goes the Shivara. There goes the Mad Burst damage. The eyeballs. Oh my god. The balls of eyes. Those eyes, dude, are doing work for you. Eyes are doing all of the work. Angie gonna be up next. Rick backing up out of there. Still holding on to adaptation. Bracking out of that adaptation. Angie taking loads of damage from all those pets. Once you ramp up all the demons, that momentum sticks on you. It's gonna go for immunity to magic damage. That's gonna be great for the Pit Lord and the eyeballs. Looks like Rick got quite a lot of damage. Bossius, how you doing, my guy? Hope you're having a good one in the chat, man. Angie is going to have to get an angle here in order to catch up with the Rick. Does go for a Fear. Trinket to follow. Do you have Axos? Reflect in case there's a Hodge. And Angie, as long as they don't go for a Hodge Reflect, they will be just fine. Rick does have adaptation though, down still for 30 more seconds. But him running adaptation, by the way, is wild. Axos around the pillar with the pets. Notice he wants to get a bubble out of Angie. Does get a bubble. Angie will not be able to lay in hands or anything. If you're gonna have yourself any kind of a go versus Rick, that would be the time to do it. Try to see if you can make that damage happen. Even down to use the Draina Racial. However, Angie just surrounded by demons. Soul ripped out of the body, knocked back for a second, and nothing they can do. With Rick getting yoinked in by Leo. Try to see if you can take down the Warlock real quick, real fast. Dropping down Death and Decays. Rick is gonna bail out of there completely. He's got himself loads of pets over there attacking Leo. Does get gripped out in the open. Stun locked. There's nothing he can do. Full breath locking him down. Can Leo bring him back for the team? He's got Saya to get through and Goaris to the Shadow Priest. And Leo just used some offensive cooldowns to take down Rick. I don't know if he'll have it here or not though. Well, let's see. It looks like Saya's trying to give him a bit of the honorable duel. Give him at least a chance to recover some health. Gorgeous looking mount, by the way. Oh, by the way, they're adding like a bunch of variations of this mount in Legion Remix. So basically, this has got like the whole red original Charisma model. There's got like a blue one. I think there's like a ivory one. Some other color too. I don't even remember. But they got a bunch of versions of it. Looks good. Looks good. Makes me want to play Legion Remix again. Dude, I've been playing the hard version of Legion Remix, like the heroic tier open world. Bro, I already got my Demon Hunter in like a god mode. I can die. I can pull like giga mobs and just never die. It is so good. And I saw a Death Knight, Blood DK, max level, 100 million health. So like, my Demon Hunter is already pretty broken, but apparently like, dudes out there running around with 100 million health at max level. Fully leveled up weapons, or I don't even know if you can fully level up. I don't think there's a cap on the weapons, but like juiced up weapons, 100 million health. It is wild, dude. It is wild. It's gonna be Wraith Walker for Leo. Blind on Josiah. Does not want to mess around with the Paladin while he's got wings. And I also noticed, oh wait, never mind. I was thinking I didn't see a Dawn Light from Saya, but no, there's a Dawn Light. Definitely there's a Dawn Light. Dawn Light onto Leo. Try to see if you can make the breath work. Saya with a full magic immunity. Unfortunately, that's a lot of that breath action, breath damage is just going to be out of the window for Leo. He's still staying on top of Saya as best as possible. As soon as Blessing of Spell Warden falls off, I think he's trying to see if he can turn the damage around. Ryder's also doing a decent bit of that physical damage to Saya too, whenever he has them all up and running. But unfortunately, Leo, unless you can get yourself some cooldowns right now, unless you get some procs right now, actually. Unless you can do that, Saya won't really be pressured. IBF out for Leo. Saya may be looking for a bubble. Leo in hands right after it. He's saving bubble for later. He's just waiting, man. He's just waiting. Well, Leo try to see if he can get himself an angle. Drop it down the dome for a second. Start onto Saya. Is it going to be enough here? Try to get himself a bit of that cleave action for the damage. Saya, not in an amazing spot, but he's doing kind of okay. Bubble's still available. Leo has AMS, I'm pretty sure, right? If he has AMS, he's going to be just fine. Does go for the bubble. Leo, if you have AMS right now. Death Pact. AMS? He needs AMS right here or he dies. Oh, no. I thought he had AMS. Never mind. With Rick taking up 4. Okay, Rick, I see ya. Eyeball build demonology apparently could do a bunch of damage, dude. Killing him with the... Dude, he's staring daggers at people, but in the most literal way possible. And instead of daggers, however, that are shooting out of his eyeballs, it's literally demonic eyeballs that are laced with C4. They literally do a ton of damage, apparently. Let's get another go, boys.